Schmunzen bei uns auf der Tribüne. Das war tatsächlich ein letztes
Zwei, eins. Acht, drück. 8, 2, 2.
Danke.
Zwei, 6, 0. 9, 1, 0. Tot lange.
Welcome back to Lenzerheide 2025. The 5th day of competition continues here in Switzerland as the country hosts the World Championships for the first time. After a day away from racing, we kick off week 2 of action here at the Roland Arena with our first of 2 individual races. 5 times round the 3-kilometre loop, 4 shooting stages alternating prone and standing. And after 15 kilometres, we will be crowning a new world champion. Alongside myself, Ellard is former Team USA biathlete Chad Salmela. And Chad, up to 6 degrees today. It's certainly a warm one. You've been down in the stadium watching zeroing. What are the conditions like in the range today?
Back to the start of the championships where it was a little bit warmer. They had several days like this. It's not quite that soft, but it is softened up quite a bit. So another wrench thrown in the operation of the ski preparers. About 43 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who don't know the metric system. So it's pretty balmy out there, and also very little wind. I think the shooting range is probably in the best shape we've seen of any competition this week.
And of course that will be vital today. No penalty loops, but an additional 60 seconds added on to the athletes' race time for a miss.
It's the same sport, but a very different sport today, because the weight of the shooting with that minute miss, plus you're by yourself. Yep. The thing you have to remember is you're not in a head-to-head race. You have 4 shooting stages. They alternate prone, standing, but you have a lot of time to with your thoughts out there on the course, being by yourself on the longest race course of the entire repertoire here at the World Championships.
Yep, of course, our longest race of the program for the women, 15 kilometers, 93 athletes on the start list. And Chad, of course, last year's winner at the World Championships, Lisa Vitozzi, not here due to a back injury that's seen her out of the whole season. So no title defence to keep an eye on. The only athlete who has a world title in this defence, or in this event, in this field, is Hannah Erberg. But this hasn't been her season so far at all, has it?
Yeah, as you say that, I agree with you. But at the same time, she skied pretty well in the pursuit a couple days back. Best skiing performance of the season. But just one bad shooting stage kind of kept her out of it. If she can just clean it up a little bit, she's such a good mentality in this competition. She could figure into this competition even without being perfect.
Well, we can take a look through the start list as well. Ranked number 2 on the World Cup, Lou Jean-Monod. Chad, where do you rank her chances in this race? She's won every individual this season, but yet to feature on an individual podium here at the World Championships in Lenzerheide.
Yeah, that's the crux of it, isn't it? She's won both times that this event has been on the World Cup repertoire. She won comfortably. She's got 2 90-point races. But the World Championships is a bit of a different horse of a different color, and she just has to find that groove I'm talking about. When you're out there by your lonesome, that 3-kilometer loop inside your own thoughts, she just has to embrace who she is and the fact that she is the best at this right now. But you know, there are several other people who have been hot so far this week, who are skiing well, who are good at this discipline.
We'll talk firstly about the only returning athlete from the World Championships who stood on the podium in Novo Mesto, and that is Julia Simon. Still as well looking for that first podium for France. Of course, Justine Braissard-Boucher, the only French woman to stand on the podium so far this week. What does she need to do today to back up that the medal that she won last year?
She needs to flip the narrative of her own shooting performance. She has dropped 4% this season overall from shooting, and that's not a good statistic in this event. I think that this is the one that she's going to have the most trouble with at these World Championships, but if she can turn it around, watch for Julia Simon to go on a roll.
Of course, we mentioned that Justine Braissard-Boucher, she took a bronze medal in this event back in 2019, Chad, and well, after a really troubled season, she's just found her flow.
She has, and she's never really, she's got a bronze medal in this from the 2019 Worlds, as you say. It's the only medal she's had in a major championship in an individual. This is not typically Braissard-Boucher's strength, but she is coming off a win already earlier in this championships, so maybe she'll find the groove today.
We had a brief look there at Ingrid Landmark-Tandervold, another athlete who has struggled for various reasons through the first half and just over of the season, and hasn't had the World Championships that she would have wanted. But Chad, she was individual winner in Oslo at the end of last season, and second in this discipline overall last season as well. She just needs to find something to make everything all click together.
I actually think that this is the best chance for her to do it. If she's going to do it this week, it's today, because she can just kind of throw it all out the window and let the shooting be the issue. She's not skiing as fast as she has been over the course of her career, but she does have great prone shooting still. She can get off to a good start. 90% from the prone all season this year at Tandervold. She's got to use that to get her in a good mindset and get on a good flow today.
Francisca Frotti's going bib 56 as well. Here is our first athlete in the women's individual here at Lenzerheide 2025, Anastasia Tomasheva of Romania. It's her 3rd World Championships.
Finished 38 in this event, 38th last year in this event, which is just 4 or 6 worse than her World Cup best of 32nd.
The noise will increase fairly swiftly because it's Elisa Gaspalan who goes bib number 2 in her last World Championship. She's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, the Gaspalan name in this neck of the woods is basically synonymous with this sport in Switzerland for the last 15 years. Her sister, Olympic bronze medalist in this individual discipline from the Sochi Olympics.
Yeah, she has a high watermark in this event of 8th at the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. The athletes have about 100 meters, and then they take a turn and straight up into a climb, Chad. This course, just synonymous with climbing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big, long climb in this 3-kilometer loop. It changes the dynamic of the race, I think, for everybody today. You definitely want to start under control for at least the first lap or two. Make sure the shots go down, and don't get too strung out on the ski performance until you get to lap 3 or 4. See how the race shapes up for you.
Bib number 4, someone we expect to set a good early pace, is Regina Ermits of Estonia. Climbed a huge 26 places in the pursuit, and her personal best set earlier this season was 8th in the short individual in Kontiolahti. Been up and down, a bit of a roller coaster season in the range after that.
The Ermits with a really kind of a surprising performance in the pursuit 2 days ago with 19 for 20 and top 25 finish for her. That's a good confidence builder going into this event where shooting is the premium. Ermits still on the skis she's in the plus side on the slower half of the field in skiing on statistics. As you see Chandervold now getting ready to go.
Jana Poof of Germany has just started her race, individual winner at the European Championships in Martel with clean shooting.
So the athletes picking up their skis out of a rack. The ski rules have changed in the last several years. 3-4 years ago, they'd have your technicians grabbing the skis and running them to the start for you. Can't do that anymore because of the fluorocarbon ban. They have to be tested for fluorocarbon waxes before they go to the start area, and they have to sit there for roughly about a half hour before you start. So a different routine for the athletes and the coaches as well.
So the fans on the far side of the course encouraging Elisa Gaspalan up this big climb at 0.8 of a kilometer.
This is the steep part of the climb. You've been climbing for almost 3 minutes, and then you get this wall right at the end of it, and that's where you have to make sure that you're under control up to that point.
Bib number 8, Sandra Bolina of Latvia. This is her second World Championship, still in the hunt for her first top 50.
52nd, her current best World Cup standing, and great that she gets a start in the first 15 athletes of the field. It's a little bit of a feather in her cap to get a little bit of TV time.
Lana Andekser, the 22-year-old from Austria, competing in her first Senior World Championships.
She finished 49th in the pursuit a few days back. That's her best World Championship finish in it so far. It's in a very fledgling World Championship career. See Dieter Irwin coming through fast for the United States in the first time check for the first 4 athletes. She's leading by 4 seconds over Regina Ermits of Estonia.
Yep, wearing bib number 3 today, Deidre Irwin. Kamila Zuk of Poland, experienced at this competition level. It's now her 5th World Championships. Kowska of Czechia next to line up. Her first World Championships, DNF in the sprint. We'll be hoping for better luck today in the 15-kilometer individual.
They're currently ranked 48th in the individual standing, so she's got some points in this discipline to her name, but just getting her feet wet, the 24-year-old from the Czech Republic, and she's got to be thrilled with her team's surprise silver medal in the mixed relay on the opening day.
Well, Ingrid Lamotte Tandevol can hear her name being chanted from the stands. A huge gathering of Norwegian flags as she starts her race, desperate to see some improvements, particularly in the shooting range. It's been a really challenging season and a tough start to the World Championships here in Lenzerheide. Back with Elisa Gaspalan, who at 1.7 kilometers goes 21 seconds into the lead.
So a little over halfway around the first loop. She's made up nearly the full 30-second stagger on Tomacheva, who started 30 seconds ahead of her.
Martina Trolabucci of Italy next to start as we get a glimpse of Lena Häcki-Gross. Well, Chad, it's been a brilliant start to the championships for her, coming so close to a medal. It hasn't quite happened in that front yet, but she's been so happy, and just a joy to be around and see in the stadium here.
Yeah, I think I'm her new fan. I'm a new fan of Lena Häcki-Gross. Watching her in this environment and how gracious she is. I mean, she's had reason to be, really technically be a little bit disappointed by just missing medals. But she has been nothing but happy and thankful for her opportunities, and saying, you know, 5th place is great for me, and that's really cool, especially when you know that the boss of your ski federation says we just want a medal, and she missed it twice by narrow margins. But she is just really a great mental competitor.
A quick shot of Regina Ermitz there, who slots in once again behind Deidre Owen. At 1.7 kilometers, she's 10.2 seconds behind the American.
Also saw Anastasia Kuzmina, the 40-year-old from Slovakia, the double Olympic champion. She's got a medal of each color from the World Championships from her career, but she's trying to come back off of a several-year retirement.
Anna-Maria Lampic of Slovenia in that distinctive green and blue kit. A huge amount of pace. So rarely do we see it all come together, though, over 4 shooting stages.
She was 58th in this event last year in the World Championships in Nove Mesto, so on the second half of the field.
Nadia Mosa of Canada. 2 top 30 finishes in this event on the World Cup.
Yeah, and 33rd at the last World Championships, so she's trying to stay in the top third of the field, maybe get a PR for this discipline at the World Championships today.
And next to emerge from the gate will be Lena Häcki-Gross. And at the same time, Elisa Gasperlan is going to come through the stadium and into the range for the first time. What can Lena Häcki-Gross do today? She has 1 victory in this discipline. That was the short individual in Antholz last season. And that was a brilliant springboard as well for going on and really performing so well in the latter end of last World Cup season.
She's currently ranked in this discipline in the World Cup 18th, which is her bib number. But I do think that she has the fitness to do better than that ranking.
Yeah, so from one Swiss athlete to another here in Lenzerheide, Elisa Gasperlan in for her first shoot. We alternate prone and standing.
Deidre Irwin, bib 3, also into the range. Gasperlan 30 seconds ahead of Komacheva. She's going to take the lead there. Irwin skied faster than the Swiss athlete, though. If she can go clean, she should be the new leader. Slow cadence by both athletes. Neither of them taking any kind of chance with that minute penalty. Very deliberate shooting by Deidre Irwin. There you see the gap. She's 14.7 seconds coming in faster than Gasperlan. Going to lose a few of those seconds in that retake on the settle on the shot, but it was worth it. Yep. Good work.
A reminder, no penalty loops as the athletes ski past the usual entrance to the 150-meter loop here in Lenzerheide. It is just, I say just, it's an additional minute added to the race time for each miss, which can prove so costly.
So really close after shooting one, just 0.2 of a second. Deidre Irwin takes the lead, but she gave up 14 seconds to Gasperlan on the shooting range. But you'll give those 14 seconds up no matter what for those minute, to avoid those minute penalties.
Yep, already 2 minutes added to the time of Regina Ermitz. So hot and cold in the range this season.
But she is the highest ranked in the individual so far on the course, and she has 4 misses. I was just going to say she's ranked 8th in the standings this year in the individual, but not that did not pan out in that first shooting stage for her.
Anna Magnusson of Sweden. Sweden with their first medal of these championships through Elvira Öberg in the pursuit.
You see Deidre Irwin throwing down a really good time compared to Tandervold. In fact, Tandervold's second fastest, but 9.2 seconds slower than Irwin, and Irwin's clean. But remind you, Irwin has done well in this event. She was 7th at the Olympic Games in 2022 in this individual competition.
Lena Häcki-Gross will fall outside of the new leading time at 0.8 of a kilometre. That's Anastasia Kuzmina. And it's 12th at this stage for Lena Häcki-Gross. Hanna Öberg, two-time world champion in this discipline, 2023 and 2019. Can she put a bad season behind her and claim the title once again?
I think she's got the fitness to do it, just looking at the pursuit. I think that it all lies between her ears in the standing position. If she can just quiet her mind, like she's done 3 times already. She's a 2-time world champion in this discipline, and she emerged as the Olympic champion in 2018. Nobody really knew who Hanna Öberg was until she won the Olympics in 2018. Has to be considered a favorite, even though things haven't gone swimmingly for her this year.
So Lisa Gasparin, the first through the 3.8 kilometre mark. Anna Andexer of Austria, the next into shooting one. 9 athletes into the range so far. So far 93. And another one to keep an eye on, Maya Clauten's. Breakout season for her. Still 23 years old. She was 8th in the sprint, a new personal best.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to wonder when the French are going to wish they had her back in her colors. She raced as a French athlete as a junior and then moved to Belgium when she didn't get named to the senior national team, but she's been great this year. Andexer taking her time, much like Deidre Irwin did. You're still your leader after prone shooting. Andexer will fall outside the time of Irwin, but still, you want to see those zeros. You want to see those targets all white just to get started here.
Yep.
Keep the pressure off yourself.
Six clean athletes through shooting one.
Andexer slots into 5th spot, 14.7 seconds back. Just have to approach this in a very calm way. This is a calm person's sort of competition. You want to just be cool and deliberate with everything you do. No high emotional points, just cool as a cucumber, smooth performance. Here's Tandervold now. She enters 13.6 back of Irwin on the skis, which is rare for Irwin to be that much ahead of Tandervold.
Tandervold is clean.
That's a good shooting stage for Tandervold. Just slowly turn the ship around. She is the bronze medalist from the World Championships in this event in 2021. She's been here, she's done it. She just has to remember who she is.
Trabucci starts with a miss.
Trabucci came in 19.2 back. So you want to watch her. You're watching for Anastasia Kuzmina, who's been setting the fastest time around lap 1 for about a minute until Anna Maria Lampic comes past. Here is the time of Kuzmina now, coming up after shooting 1. Trying to see where she looks like she is going to slot into 2nd spot behind Irwin. So clean shooting for the Slovakian. Oh, excuse me, Kuzmina had 2 misses. That was, she's actually 140 back, so Kuzmina's fast lap didn't help her. There's Anna Maria Lampic now.
No surprise to see her take the early lead, all in the gold, but starting with a miss.
Another one there for her. And the minutes really accrue quickly. And even though she's a really fast skier, now she's at the bottom, pretty much at the bottom of the field, only beating Regina Ermitz at this point. Well, maybe slot ahead of Sandra Bludina. Now she'll be into.
Yep, she will be
14.
down in 14, owing to those 3 misses. Julia Tannheimer next to start, bib 34, the reigning junior world champion in this event. 19 years old, looking to make her mark on the senior world championships.
And like a 19-year-old, she's a little bit more hot and cold than the more mature and trained athlete. She doesn't have a very long training history, but she's certainly got the top end speed when she is on. Here's Heki Gross now, trailing by 9.2. Remember, Irwin still has the slowest shooting time of everyone through on the range. Took 14 seconds longer than Elisa Gasbrand. Miss for Heki Gross, though.
Four out of 5 for Lena Heki Gross.
Well, she knows the drill. That's about all she can afford to miss on the day if she wants to figure into it at the end of the day. She's got to go clean for 3 more stages.
Amy Beserga, who spent a lot of time doing media duties in the build-up to this World Championships. And while we've been here in Lenzerheide, took her first World Cup podium in this event in Ruhpolding, finishing 3rd, but just missed out on the pursuit, finishing 61st in the sprint.
So we'll focus in on Milena Todorova, who had a surprise podium earlier this season, the first of her career. Elisa Gasbrand has her first miss of the day in the breakout as well. But Amy Beserga, as she leaves the start, she's the 6th ranked athlete in this discipline. So Switzerland's best foot forward, statistically speaking, on the day's competition. Todorova with a miss. And now Irwin in the breakout, up at shooting number 2. Oh, jumped on that one. You can see the barrel dip a little bit. 3rd shot solid. Nice. Nice rhythm. That was solid shooting. Just jumped on that one shot, but she did all the mental gymnastics she needed to do to get it back in order. And great shooting. But again, she can't afford another miss at this point.
Nope, she's halfway through her race with 1 miss. The next visit to the range, she'll be back in the prone position.
But even at bib 22, Irwin's still the leader after prone. That's a sign that she's skiing very well against this early field. Expect those times to come. Expect that time to come down as some of the big favorites come through later in the start order in the 40s and 50s and 60s.
Getting back to shooting 1, and Anna Magnusson with a miss. She's come in just 1.4 seconds down, but that miss will add an extra 60 seconds to her time.
But she shot fast. She's gonna take that to her advantage. She'll be less than a minute out of the time of Irwin, despite a minute penalty. So, ceding about 9 seconds in the shooting time and ski time. Now, can Hannah Oberg exercise the demons that have been haunting her? Kind of her household as well, as Martin Ponstholm, her partners, had an abysmal shooting season from the prone position.
Comes in leading though by 10.3 seconds.
No, it's just not this the calm. It's not the calm Hannah Oberg you're used to seeing. She can still come back, 1 miss. Everybody can come back from 1 miss and still win. But tough start for her as the Lithuanian misses 2-9. Zurskaita.
Ella Halvorsen, 2nd in the short individual in Kontiolahti, and 9th in Ruhpolding as well in the individual competition there. Performs best over 4 shooting stage races. Chad, what do you expect from her today?
I don't know. I mean, she clearly looks good. I kind of picked her as my dark horse. I think that when you're looking through the field, you know, with Dorothea Viera gone and Lisa Vitozzi gone, the people who you glom to for a prediction on an individual, and then Hannah Oberg being who she's been this year, this discipline is just begging for somebody besides Lou Jean Monod to step up and do something. I think Halvorsen could be one of them. So that's my answer.
A good start for Maya Clautens. And there's the miss. Won't be too long until we see Julia Simon take to the tracks. Bib number 46. Susanna Andexer in for her second shoot. And our new leader,
Johanna Puff, yeah, she snuck in there. The young German in her first World Championship start, 22-year-old, goes clean, prone and standing. So she leads by 24 now over Irwin. But can Anna Andexer get in there? Clean shooting will do it, and she's going to be the new leader.
She'll take the lead.
Really great composure. Loved how deliberate she was. And Bartoszka Fialkova in the breakout having a miss for Slovakia. Anna Andexer, the Austrian.
And a sizable lead at this point as well, 17.7 seconds. Well, what a season it's been for Suvi Minkkinen. She's just waiting behind the gates. 2 more bibs ahead of her, including this woman, Julia Simon, the only returning medalist from Nové Mesto in 2024. Bronze medal on that day. Only Brassard Boucher has stood on an individual podium so far in Lenzerheide for France. Julia Simon only once didn't finish on the podium in Nové Mesto. Desperate to feature in the medal records here in 2025. Here's Ingrid Landmark-Sandervold, clean in the prone position.
Didn't see any mechanical issues with that miss. Another one, just a little bit stiff on the, jumping on the trigger a little bit. Didn't look horrible, but you can see the little jump on, there's a little reaction, it's kind of a reaction to pulling the trigger. That's what you don't want to do. You want to take the shot and pull the trigger squeeze through the hold. But it's very human to want to jump on the shot when you think the sight picture looks good. And when the sight picture looks good, you almost have a better chance of missing, because you try to jump on the trigger to grab it, and that's when you miss.
Well, the sprint bronze medalist Suvi Minkkinen, her most successful season, now 30 years old, taking her first World Cup podium the day before she turned 30. That was in Kontiolahti, and we have all watched on in awe since then.
Minkkinen skiing is just so much better. She's 2% better than she was a season ago on the skis, and then her outlier races are even faster than that. So she's had a couple of slower races that figures into that overall ski speed for the year, that statistic. So Minkkinen's certainly skiing fast enough to win this individual if she keeps it, 19 or 20.
Yep, 8th in this event in Oberhof in 2023. So good history competing in the individual competition at World Championships.
There's Lisa Theresa Hauser now. She's not had her best season. Nothing to really complain too much about, but just not quite as sharp as she's been at when she's been her best.
She does have an individual win though from Antholz in 2021. Julia Tannheimer, the young German, dropping down into the pro position. They're shooting 1 for the 19-year-old. Coming in 7.9 seconds in the lead. Can she keep her cool here?
Junior world champion last year. Taking a very slow approach to the shooting, but that's good. Just build your confidence. She knows how to do this. It's just a higher level, but a miss from shooting 1 for the youngster.
Yeah, just on the edge of the prone ring. Lou Jean-Minot. Well, she was so disappointed with her race in the sprint, saying she hated it. Came back, but just off the podium in the pursuit. Chad, it feels like she's edging closer and closer to that complete performance we know she can deliver.
Yeah, and she's done it before, but it's so hard when you get that worm in your mind thinking that you're just not the same person you've been. She's got to put that out of her mind and find the groove that she's had. She's got 5 victories this year, but they're only 5 times on the podium. When she hits the podium, she wins. And this is her best event at these World Championships, I think, to take the gold.
Yep. In hunt of her first ever world title. in an individual competition. Here's Amy Beserga.
This is good. If Beserga can clean. Nice. Very composed shooting. You notice that she didn't seem to be barely at all affected by the altitude. She knows how to compete at this venue. She won a World Junior Championship medal here 5-6 years ago when they held the World Championships here for the juniors. And
our new leader, leaving shooting 1.6 seconds. Oceane Michelon, bib 54. Her first World Championships. And another, the French woman, Chad, who's been there and thereabouts, but still on the hunt for that first World Cup podium.
Yeah, I have Michelon on my short list of surprises today. She's been 4th and 7th in the individual competition this year on World Cup. I think her time is coming. Could it be today? As Deidre Irwin comes in, she's 9 for 10 coming into shooting number 3. Looking back at shooting 2, she's still holding on to 4th spot, 41 seconds back of Ondexer, who's clean. Clean stage here would do a lot for Irwin's chances at the end of the day. Oh, another miss there from prone.
Franziska Preuss, bib 56 today, after taking her first ever world title in the pursuit.
Well, Irwin's still going to take the lead here because Elisa Gasperin ahead of her has 3 misses as opposed to Deidre Irwin's 2, so she's going to lead by just about a minute. She and Gasperin on the course almost exactly the same on the skis and in the shooting range as far as time goes. Just that one miss separating the two of them, and that puts Irwin in the lead.
Just 2 athletes through shooting 3. 96 bibs on the start list in this first of 2 individual competitions. Hannah Erberg, that's the second miss on the day. She's
fast, but she's not that fast, unless a lot of people miss more shots. So 2 shooting stages, 2 misses. It's just she knows what it takes to win these competitions. She's won more of them than anybody on the field today. There's Anna Yuppe now. Her teammate doing well through 2 shooting stages and leading. The 23-year-old's her second individual start of the World Championship. She was 57th at last year's Worlds in this event, but she's got a miss. And you see Ella Halverson lay down in the breakout as Yuppe has 2 extra minutes added to her time. Well, Halverson's got a good cadence going. Nice rhythm, 2-second rhythm. Wow. And it's quick. Her shooting time's going to be quick.
Yep, very composed for Ella Halverson, who will be our new leader at shooting 1, and it will be some margin as well. A really solid start to this race as we're back with Hoof of Germany. 7.9 seconds, Halverson's advantage now.
There's a look an athlete has when they're in the groove on the individual competition, and I would say that Ella Halverson through shooting 1 has that groove. Johanna Poof has that groove too. She's 15 for 15. And she's going to set a new fastest time by a good margin.
Yep, bib number 5. And coming off the back of winning this event at the European Championships in Marseille, and looking very good for it indeed.
It doesn't take lightning skiing to win a medal at the World Championships. 20 for 20 will do it, even if you're 2 or 3 minutes off the fastest skier sometimes. Kierkegaard taking her time. This is smart. Oh, still missing despite 3-second cadence, 3+ second cadence. Gotta find that groove and that confidence she's had.
Yeah, she'll lose the lead that she carried coming into this shooting stage.
Kierkegaard is currently 10th in the World Cup standings overall, but not competing at that level so far at the Worlds. Ondexer into shooting 3 now as Brassard-Boucher is getting ready to start.
New sprint world champion, Justine Brassard-Boucher, taking bronze in the pursuit. Back to excellent form and looking to continue it today.
Oh, Anna Ondexer coming apart.
And it's quick from Julia Simon, and it's clean as well. The only returning medalist from Novo Mesto off to a flying start, and she will be the new leader.
Bendica snuck in there as well. Biba Bendica won the European Championships right before the World Championships in this discipline. She's 4.9 seconds back of Simone, and Simone now in control after one shooting. My mistake, actually. That was the pursuit or the match start that she won. It was Poof, I think, won the individual in the European Championships, and Poof doing well today.
Elvira Urberg, bib number 64. And one of our late starters to certainly keep an eye on after she claimed her first individual medal at the World Championships and Sweden's first of Lenzerheide 2025 in the pursuit.
There's Hanna Alcantara, who was clean through the first stage and starts with a miss in the second, but she had an 8.7 second advantage coming in. Her father having a great week as the coach of Campbell Wright for Team USA. Alcantara's solid, gonna fall outside the time of Ondex, but remember, Ondexer melted down in shooting 3 and is suffering the consequences of that. A loop ahead of Alcantara, 2 loops ahead.
And now starting to see the range with the revolving doors that we're so used to seeing in individual competition.
Alcantara into 9th. You see Tandervold also there through shooting 3. She has slotted into the 3rd spot, the 4th spot after shooting 3 to Tandervold. You see Alcantara's replay.
Lisa Hauser.
Hauser just doesn't quite have the speed. I think she's struggled with her ski form all season long. And comes in 20 seconds behind Simone. Randall Benstanovic started 30 seconds behind Hauser. Now she comes in, you see her in the breakout. And Benstanovic now 2 for 2. She can keep this up. She can challenge Simone if she's clean. She is.
But how long will that stand? Because we also have a new leader coming into shooting 1, and that is Lou Jean Minot.
Oh, and a miss.
Miss for Jean Minot.
And that's disappointing. She knows now she has to just about be perfect for the next 15 shots. And at the World Championship, it's so difficult to know that you have to do that. Kind of put your back up against the wall. And she's leaving the range with number 34, Julia Tannheimer, who just shot, I believe, from the 3rd stage.
Lena Häcki-Gloss with 1 miss from her first prone visit. This shooting 3 now. There's Amy Beserga in for shooting 2.
You see Häcki-Gloss is much faster on the course than Poof. And she needed that one as well, as Poof is clean, but skiing slower, and she'll remain the leader. Here now is Amy Beserga trying to take the lead from Julia Jima at shooting 2.
10 out of 10 so far, came in with an 18.7 second advantage. And it will be a comfortable lead at shooting 2 for Amy Beserga of Switzerland. Oceane Michelon in for her first shoot. It's a 20.6 second lead at shooting 2 for Amy Beserga. Will we have a new leader? We won't. Oceane Michelon's time will fall outside of that of her compatriot Julia Simon, who leads at this stage.
But she's close. She's close. Michelon is still in it. Just 12 seconds back. So it's France, Latvia, Norway, and France after shooting 1. Now where's Preuss? She's 4 seconds faster than Simon. Slight adjustment to her windage. Looks like the wind is maybe picked up just a tad. Only a click though. Very quick to the first shot, 16 seconds. Not worried about the cadence, not worried about the accuracy. This is great stuff. Resettles and gets to 5.
That is so good from Franziska Preuss. Cool as you like. after taking her first world title. She's on a hunt for another. And Chad, just how much of a weight lifted will it be to have got that first title out the way?
It's huge, and I think that's her distinct advantage in this competition today. Francisca Proyas is already going home with 3 medals, 1 of each color. Yep. There's no consequence. She can just go there and be herself. And when she does that, she's perfect. She's wonderful.
Final shoot for Deidre Irwin. 2 misses so far.
This is nice. Very controlled shooting. Nice shooting, 18 for 20. Might not be for a medal, but could be for a great finish for the American, depending on how big the pressure grows later in the field.
Yep, she has a personal best of 7th in this event from the 2022 Winter Olympic Games. Here's Lotte Lee of Belgium.
She was also 11th last year at the World Championships in the same event, Deidre Irwin, and then Clinton's now 9 for 10, I believe.
So Irwin into the lead. One of our early bibs, as Lotte Lee as well, coming out of her standing shoot.
Here's Ella Halverson now, first of 2 standing stages, the second shooting, leading by 12.9 seconds over Amy Becerra. Not surprising that she's got that ski speed lead. Leaders all with 0 now. Swimming us in there, as well as Lotte Lee from Belgium. And look at Ella Halverson, just let them fly. Wow. She's in a groove right now. This is what you want when I talk about just being smooth, being in the groove. Ella Halverson is not even thinking out there. That is great stuff. She's just got to stay in the zone and don't let anybody break into her bubble for the next, 20 minutes or so.
She has the flow. A miss for Jean Richard of France.
Richard came into these championships one of the best shooters in the world, and she's struggled with the pressure, I think, of trying to match the level of her teammates who are taking medals, and Richard going to be well down the field into 31st place after shooting 1. Here's the early leader, perfect through 15 shots. Joanna Poof, number 5. Skiing quite a bit slower than Deidre Irwin because she's perfect. She needs to be perfect to take the lead for sure. '20th shot, she gets it.
Truly spectacular, a perfect 20 for the European champion, Joanna Poof, who is putting a challenge down here for a world medal at Lenzerheide 2025.
And Justine Barsa-Boucher also in that action. She goes clean for the first stage, and we'll pick that up. Simone clean.
Yeah, and quick as well, once again. We saw that from her in Antholz, the way that she could just hit down the targets, just rattle them out, and that good form continuing.
Let's just let the mud settle out of what we just saw there. Julia Simone is clean through 2 stages. Justine Barsa just left prone in the lead by 1.4 over Simone. Proyas in 3rd after the first shooting stage, 4.2 seconds back. But when you jump ahead to the standing after shooting number 2, Simone is clean again, and she leads Ella Halverson by 32 seconds. Anastasia Merkushina, 2 misses total on the day for the Ukrainian athlete. Here's Anna Andexer, who is clean through the first 10 and then misses 4 of the second 10.
And that drops her down the order.
Here's Elvira Öberg.
Of Elvira Öberg, and all going to plan for the Swede. 5 out of 5, but it won't be the lead. She drops in behind Barsa-Boucher, and it will be inside the top 10. It will be 6th after shooting 1, 10.5 seconds behind for Elvira Öberg.
So the red group, the AC group, really stacking the pressure on their skiing fast and shooting clean as Elvira Öberg gets some information from her coaches. Here's Suvi Minkinen now into the second shoot. She's clean from prone, but outside the time of Julia Simone, who is flying. Really, at this point, Suvi Minkinen challenging Halverson for 2nd. And that's going to be tight even if she's clean. And she is.
So keep our eyes on the time. I think it will be outside the time of Amy Berserger as well for Suvi Minkkinen because of her positioning on the mat. She's had to go those extra yards.
She's going to slot in right behind Lotte Lee by 9/10 of a second, so very tight in the top 5. But you can see the gap in ski performance by Simone. She's skiing away from these challengers. Here's Julia Jima now coming in with a minute, 59.8 seconds lead over Johanna Puff through shooting number 3. Puff went 20 for 20, so you got to keep that in mind if you're Julia Jima. Tannheimer comes to shooting number 3 as well. You can see just how fast Tannheimer's skiing. She's almost caught Julia Jima, who started a minute ahead of her. So Jima not skiing terribly fast, but she is in it because she's clean so far.
Tannheimer with 1 miss.
Jima's good. She is 15 for 15. She's made a career out of this kind of shooting performance. Tannheimer taking her time, but she gets it.
5 for 5 in her second prone shooting. Just one more visit to the range to come for Julia Tannheimer. 14 out of 15. And she will go into second, 8.2 seconds behind Julia Jima.
So all the top-seeded athletes out on the course and having shot from the prone position. So the shooting score at shooting 1 should give us an idea of who's still in it, at least at the early going. Raissa Boucher by 1.4 seconds over Simone. And it's like rush hour out there on the course right now with most of the athletes all out on the 3-kilometer loop all at once. Here's final shooting for Lena Hacky-Gross, second shooting for Michelin. Hacky-Gross could take the lead.
2 misses for Michelin.
Oh, I think Hacky-Gross is going to get the lead, or she's going to have to ski down Puff in the last loop. It's going to be enough for the lead, I think. Just maybe not.
Well, it will be close, but it will be outside the time of Johanna Puff. Lena Hacky-Gross into second, 7/10 of a second in it. And she needs a big final lap now.
Here comes Deidre Irwin now to the finish. She's hitting 18 for 20. And 18 for 20 is what's leading it after 4 shooting stages with Lena Hacky-Gross.
Second shoot for Franziska Preuss. Clean so far. As Deidre Irwin rounds the corner into the stadium, she'll be able to see the finish line. Franziska Preuss, 4 for 4. Brilliant start from Preuss.
Going to the line now.
And in the lead with just 2 athletes over the line, 18 out of 20 on the day.
Here now is Aida Gasparin. She can hit these. She'll hit 18 for 20 as well. Trailing Puff by 7.6 seconds, and she is going to throw her hat in the ring for the lead against Hacky-Gross and the Swiss stepping up. These might not be medal performances, but the Swiss are packing the top of the order early on.
Yep, once again having to come from the standing mats, so she won't get there before the time of Johanna Puff.
She will go second, though.
Third behind Lena Hacky-Gross. So out of shooting 4, it's Switzerland who occupy spaces 2 and 3. Here's Hannah Urberg.
Knocked him down after 3 misses from the third stage. It's just going to be racing for pride now. Similar to yesterday's performance, she had one stage that just kind of falters. And Anna Magnussen now into the shooting range to take the lead. She comes into shooting 4 with 19 seconds on Puff, the German leader, who's 20 for 20. Magnussen has a miss as well. So Magnussen will not supplant Johanna Puff after 4 shooting stages. And here's the young German, her first World Championship start, and she's got the lead.
Yep, on her debut, what a spectacular performance. 20 out of 20 for the young German. And she has plenty of time to enjoy this long descent down into the stadium. Ella Halvorsen is on fire. That is excellent from the Swede.
Clean 3 times now as Halvorsen. Came in with a 13-second lead. Here's Johanna Puff to the finish line now.
Newly crowned European champion, throwing her hat in the mix for a world medal here at Lenzerheide, and a performance that the young German can be incredibly proud of. A perfect 20, and our new leader with 14 over the line, Brassard Boucher.
Can she turn the tables on her title? Not an individual specialist by any means, but so far 10 for 10, and she's always one of the fastest on the course. She's going to take the lead comfortably from Simone after 2 shooting stages by 8 seconds now. France 1 and 2.
Yep, and Julia Simon dropping down into the prone position for her 3rd shoot.
Comes in 48 seconds clear of the clean shooting Halvorsen.
She's flying. She's so quick and she's so accurate. Julia Simon, 15 out of 15 and flying.
Simone and Brassard Boucher.
Look at that time,
level.
Tad. That is exceptional. 55.1 seconds in the lead, and we've seen how good Ella Halvorsen is doing out there. That's truly spectacular.
She's almost a minute, almost a full penalty. She can miss a shot, probably, Simone, and still beat Halvorsen if Halvorsen remains clean. Both of them on to the penultimate ski loop before the final and most difficult standing stage. Now that last standing stage is really critical because they're actually shooting at a point where they've almost finished every other discipline in kilometers skied, and you have to stand there with the lactic acid building in your legs, trying to hit your shots. Here's Clementi's trying to battle that very scenario, and she does well.
And a contender for new leader after shooting 4.
She's
with
going to be
1 miss, and she will take top spot away from Johanna Puff. By quite some way as well, as she comes up to the time check, shooting for 18.3 seconds. Klemencic leads, and Elvira Urberg, we saw her coming out behind. She's in 4th after shooting 2 and 32.2 seconds down.
Klemencic with a best finish of 8th in her career. She could obviously do much better than that today as she leads on going to the last loop. Here's Bib 64 now. Elvira Urberg getting information from her coaches out on course. Minkinen's clean as well, but really off the ski time of Simone and Halvorsen. Already 42 seconds back when she's laying down to shoot. So just trying to stay in the top 10 at this point with clean shooting.
Standards being set in the range are so high.
It's like they forgot to be nervous today.
And another 15 out of 15. This time it's Suva Minkkinen who emerges. She will not take the lead. Julia Simon is absolutely flying on the skis as well. You really need the perfect pairing of quick skis and perfect shooting. Into 4th though, Suvi Minkkinen, and here's Lou Jean Monod. A miss from her first visit. Clean and standing.
Skiing and shooting a little bit faster, just 56 seconds back with a miss compared to Simone, who's clean. But Jean Monod has to be perfect now from here on out and hope for a miss from the others. Taking bigger chances now, just 1 breath per shot. And she does it, keeping her hopes alive.
Yep, she's not out of this yet, Lou Jean Monod. But the concept of a first World Championships title, you feel with that 1 miss slipping away. Still, of course, in the mix for a podium.
So Tannheimer, I believe, just cleaned her last stage. She's in the screen there in the middle. Bib 34. Oh, Julia Gima's clean. That's who they're showing. She's clean. She leads by 1:05 now after 4 shooting stages, and Tannheimer dropped into 12th.
Yeah, 4 misses for Julia Tannheimer, including at least 1 on the last.
So picking the shot here, it's bib 68 we're watching in the blue and green from Slovenia. Leading the range, bib 68 is Klemencic.
It's Lena Lepench who wears bib 68 today, the 21-year-old, as Lena Haki-Gross comes across the line. Our new lead at 32.3 seconds ahead of Joanna Puff, and Chad, she really had to push the pace on the final lap.
She did, yeah. I think what they were trying to find was Klemencic on the last lap, and it was her teammate in bib 68. But there's Ocean Michelin now. She's got just too many misses to be figuring into it. She's going to have to pick another day to get her first podium finish. Aita Gasparyan, 18 for 20 now, heading toward the finish line.
Yep, her time falls already behind that of Haki-Gross. But with a big final push, she could slot in ahead of Joanna Puff and go into second. Welcomed home by the Swiss crowd as Franziska Preuss in for her second prone shoot. She's clean so far. 12.7 seconds off the pace. And continues to be clean. She just looks so relaxed, Chad, and that's what we expected after claiming that gold medal.
She's got Simone ahead of her and Bryce Boucher behind her in the start order. So she's kind of sandwiched between the splits of the 2 leaders, Simone and Bryce Boucher, but she knows right where she is. She's 19 seconds down to Simone. She's probably not going to make that up in the skiing. So what you have to do is just be strategic and expect them to miss.
Yep.
There's Anna Magnussen now. She falls outside the time of Haki-Gross. Same shooting as the Swiss lady.
This is bib, I believe.
It's Anna Magnussen.
No, I think it's, is that not the bib, leg bib of, yeah, that was Ella Halvorsen. This is Anna Magnussen. I did think I spotted a 4 there. Yeah. But this is Anna Magnussen over the line in 4th, 56.8 seconds down, just slotting in ahead of Deidre Irwin.
That's a solid performance by Deidre Irwin. If you just look at the proximity of her skiing to Anna Magnussen, that's her best performance so far at these championships for sure for Deidre Irwin.
Elvira Erberg across the line in 7th with 5 misses, or Hannah Erberg, sorry, across the line, wearing bib 24. Here's Selina Grottier, not an ideal start to her race, and the bad luck in the range continues. That's now 4 misses and 4 minutes added on to her total race time.
So on that last loop, Polina Klemencic had the lead, and she's been supplanted by Samuela Komola now after the 4th shooting stage, as well as Julia Gima and Tuli Tomingas. They're all on the last loop, and they're all packed within 25 seconds of each other.
Here's Ella Halvorsen. Her final shoot. Clean so far, perfect shooting, and she's quick as well. 47.4 seconds her lead.
She's not even thinking, just going for it, just instinctual. And there it is, 20 for 20. This is going to figure into the medals as the pressure grows on everyone behind her. You want to be the first one in to hit 20 of the leaders skiing fast enough, and she's not skiing as fast as the French woman, but if they falter, she's in the medal position, for sure.
And Chad, we speak about it so often, an athlete who comes into the range and thinks about nothing, and that's exactly what Halvorsen has just done there to take the lead by 45.1 seconds. This is a superb day in the office for the Swede. Only 1 podium on the World Cup, and that was 2nd in Kontiolahti.
Paulina Bartowska-Fialkova with a 16 for 20 day. She'll cross the line in 8th position. Here's Julia Simone now, final shoot. And there's the miss, but she still is going to get the lead. If she hits it, she does. 19 for 20 might be enough. She's chasing the time of Halvorsen.
She had such an advantage on the skis. It will be enough for the lead. You can see the time go past. It's 15.8 seconds. Julia Simon leads, but how costly further down the field will that miss be?
I'm going back to the last time Preuss and Simone were together in the same spot. It's 9.8 kilometers. They were 20 seconds separated. So there's how tight it's going to be.
Yep. Klemencic over the line in second, 4.4 seconds behind Lena Haki-Gross.
So Simone with a miss in the final stage, and she's got the world champion from the pursuit behind her, clean so far. Preuss and her teammate, the world champion in the sprint, chasing her as well. So the two world champions trying to shoot one better than Simone to take the win.
And then further down the order, Vela Urberg. This her second prone shoot, her third shoot overall.
We got word that she might not start. We had heard rumors that she might not start today and that maybe something wasn't quite there. She's clean so far, but her ski time is really not competitive like you'd expect her to be in those among those leaders. So she's got to stay clean just to have a shot at a medal now.
Taking her time, but taking them all down. 15 out of 15 for Elvira Urberg.
And she will slot into the A medal position ahead of Halvorsen, her teammate, with a shooting stage and 2 loops left.
So bumping Ella Halvorsen down into fourth. Elvira Urberg goes into third.
Hanna Augenthaler into fourth. So the first 5 athletes separated by 32 seconds. Hanna Augenthaler moves just 0.8 of a second ahead of Johanna Puff into fourth ahead of fifth.
Now here's the clean shooting Yulia Jima of Ukraine. Going towards the finish line, keeping that inside line. As Suvi Minkinen comes in for her final shoot.
Yulia Jima to the line, 20 for 20.
She will be our new leader. But how long will that stand? Suvi Minkinen.
It won't last for long.
No.
Ella Halvorsen is 10 spots behind her on course, also on the last loop. But Jima is giving it everything and giving Ukraine a chance at their first medal of these championships.
We'll watch for the time that Suvi Minkinen exits shooting for clean, and she's now into third. Jomino needs to be perfect here.
But she also needs to be a little bit quick. We saw Simone just railing them down. Jomino already a disadvantage with 1 miss, but Simone also with a miss on the day. Oh, that's good! That's good. She's 9 seconds back already, but she has to try to find the speed in the last loop now.
Yep, she'll need a big final lap. Lou Jomino. Samuela Komola of Italy, 19 out of 20, crossed the line in second.
Hadn't seen her race. That's a good performance by the Italian. Komola was 4th in this event last year. He'd be hard-pressed to be 4th again 2 years in a row. There's Tuuli Tomengas. We haven't seen her race either. She's coming to the finish 19 for 20 and good skis. Got Preuss following her, but Preuss is a lap behind. That's Preuss in the background.
Yulia Jima will remain the leader with 37 athletes across the line.
But Tomengas is having the best race of her season by a good stretch. Will be second for now, likely won't be on the podium, but she'll be in the top 10, maybe in the flower ceremony with that.
Amy Baserga's come across the line. You can see her just down in front of the advertising hoardings. It's 6th for the Swiss athlete, and Tomingas 21 seconds off the pace of Yulia Jima.
Here's Simone.
Yeah, final lap. 28 seconds. She has the advantage. Here's Franziska Preuss.
put the pressure on Bryce Boucher by going clean here. This can be for the win. Oh, first miss of the day. And now it's a ski race. Oh, it's more than a ski race. That's going to put her off the podium.
Yep, 2 misses for Franziska Preuss. A perfect day up until then. And just how costly will that be? We'll likely see the time of Dominguez go past. Here's Michaela Kalala. We watch for the damage done by Franziska Preuss. She's down in 7.
And this is what I was talking about with Elvira Uberg. Skiing's not going well. It's 3 misses for Carrara. That's a heartbreak for her. She had a good one going, but if we talk about Elvira Uberg, she clearly is not at the top of her ski fitness today, but she's 15 for 15, and with clean shooting, she can still find her way with a miss from Franziska Preuss in that last stage.
Well, here's Ella Halvorsen coming towards the line. Perfect shooting for the Swede. And will this be a second senior podium and a second podium of the season? Took the silver medal in the short individual in Conti Ellard, performing well in Ruhpolding.
This might get her a medal. Certainly a great performance.
A huge performance for Ella Halvorsen. She's in the lead by 46 seconds. Will it be enough for her first World Championships medal?
That was, I would say that was a perfect race for Ella Halvorsen. That was all she could do. And Simone now.
Well, 19 out of 20 for Julia Simon, who takes the lead. And it looks like it could be a lead that stands. We'll keep our eyes out for Bryce Boucher. But Julia Simon, 19 out of 20. And an advantage of 37 seconds over Ella Halvorsen.
Here's Bryce Boucher. Oh no, that's Jean Richard.
So 2 misses on her final visit. And here now is Bryce Boucher.
And another miss.
So that should be enough for Julia Simon to take the world title.
And now we have to see where Franziska Preuss figures into it as well with those 2 misses. Don't think it'll be a podium for her today.
No. Also watching out for Suvi Minkkinen, who has come through 13.7 kilometers in 3rd. Also clean shooting for the Finn, who took the bronze medal in the sprint to kick things off the individual events. Here's Lou Jean Monod, who now pushes down Suvi Minkkinen. The fight isn't over. Oh, she's been so desperate to find her way onto the podium here in Lenzerheide.
We still have Elvira Uberg to watch out for into the final shooting. And I believe this is her as she approaches. Sitting in 3rd place, 1 second ahead of her teammate Ella Halvorsen at the last time check. Into shooting 4 comes Uberg. What will her time be? It's not blistering the skis like she's used to.
Nope, she peels off one way as Darcy Morton crosses the line with 5 misses on the day, in at 45th for now.
Last shot at a medal on course.
And here is Suvi Minkkinen.
Going to fall outside the time of Halvorsen in 2nd, which might be the medal.
Yeah, we'll have eyes on Lou Jean Monod, who's behind her in the course. And of course, further back is Elvira Uberg for the final shoot.
Oh, miss for Ellard. Couldn't afford that. Skiing is just not going fast enough for Ellard.
And Suvi Minkkinen. Will it be enough for another medal here at Lenzerheide 2025? She already has a bronze from the sprint. Across the line in third, but can she hold off Lou Jean Monod, who is rallying behind her? And here is the Frenchwoman, Lou Jean Monod. Keep your eyes on the time, it's going to be close. Will Suvi Minkkinen have the bronze medal ripped out of her grasp? She will. Lou Jean Monod goes into third.
And Halvorsen hangs on to second.
4 misses for Idalene, 3 in her last visit to the range.
Jean Monod erased nearly 15 seconds to take the silver medal from Halvorsen, but Halvorsen hung on in the end.
And Suvi Minkkinen, who had barely had a moment in the bronze medal position, sees it snatched away from her by Lou Jean Monod.
Ella Halvorsen knows now it's a medal. It's very likely a silver. As Preuss and Brassard-Boucher both miss in the final stage.
Dmytrenko, clean shooting, 20 out of 20, enough for 8 for now.
That's going to be a high water mark for her. Well, if she can stay in 8th or better.
Xian Michelon in at 14th with 3 misses. And here's Franziska Preuss. All unraveling on that final visit to the range. 2 misses, 2 minutes added on to her race time. Julia Simon had enough real estate and time advantage built up on the skis. Franziska Preuss couldn't afford the misses, and it will cost her a medal today.
If you look at the repertoire of the biathlon circuit, the only discipline that Julia Simon has not won a major event in, a World Cup or World Championship, it's the individual. This seals the deal for her, closes the box.
And what a time to do it. The only returning medalist from Novo Mesto, Julia Simon, and that time of Franziska Preuss will not trouble her one bit. Preuss into 8th, and will hope to cling on, and should cling on for a place in the top 10. A relief on the face of Lou Jean Monod. Just 1 miss, 19 out of 20, and that should be more than enough for a medal.
Yeah, big gap from her back to 4th. Over 30 seconds, almost 40 seconds, 36 seconds between Minkkinen in 4th right now and Jean Monod in 3rd.
Well, Sweden, they had to wait for the first medal of the championships to come through Elvira Öberg, and they had their second in quick succession. Ella Halvorsen this time stepping up and laying down a perfect race, the only in the top 3 to have achieved 20 out of 20 in perfect shooting.
Just Laura Ristova of Bulgaria slots into 11th, which would be her personal best finish in any World Cup or World Championship event. Personal best of 19th coming in today. And now Justine Brassard-Boucher with still skiing fast, but just 1 miss too many.
Two medals from the championship already. The new sprint world champion. And those final 2 shooting stages and the misses in them too costly. Natalia Sidolovic did 72 in the breakout screen with now 2 misses. Justine Brassard-Boucher fights towards the line, and will push Franziska Preuss down into 9th. It's 8th today for Brassard-Boucher.
Well, not only did Simone win the competition, but she was the fastest shooter so far of everybody in the finish. She actually put on the silver medalist, Ella Halvorsen, already 20 seconds on the shooting range, just in shooting time. So those shooting times do matter. They do count.
Jean Richard, 3 misses. And across the line in 22nd.
Leinamo from Finland comes into the finish in 46th.
No clean shooting from any of the French athletes, but enough for a win and a podium. Gold and bronze, with Ella Halvorsen claiming her 2nd podium of the season to take the silver medal.
Tuuli Domingas with an outlier performance today, 19 for 20 and 6th right now. It's a great, her best finish of the season by a good margin.
Dmytrenko as well of Ukraine, currently sat in 10th. She finished 8th in Nové Mesto, but performing well once again in the individual event as we go back to Elvira Öberg.
It won't be a podium finish, but normally you'd think that Elvira Öberg could win with 19 for 20. So the skiing clearly not quite there today, and perhaps fighting something, but she's going to be in the top 5, maybe. No, not going to fall outside the top 5. She's not going to get the time of Minkkinen, but it'll be a respectable finish. Trying to get to the time of Zima. I don't think she's going to get there either.
Nope, the time of Julia Zima goes past. Zima, of course, with clean shooting and with 19 out of 20, Elvira Öberg into 6th, which has consequences further down, pushing Franziska Preuss into 10th. And Tuuli Domingas out of the flower ceremony. Is Natalia Sidolovic. 2 misses, she's on her final lap, approaching and just gone through the 12.8 kilometer mark. And Chad, the intermediate results, Julia Simon, the only returning medalist from Nové Mesto, where she took bronze in this event. Today it's gold, and when you look at the time, no one could touch her, even with a 1-minute penalty, owing to just how good she was on the skis today.
She flew on the skis. This is probably her best ski performance we've seen of the year. Absolutely flew around the course. Her course time right now, only slower than Brassard-Boucher and Jean Monod, but she made us so much time on the range as well. Yep. Fastest shooting time on the range. You have to remember that time that you see with those penalties figured in, that a lot of that is shooting time. And Simone was 2:49 for 4 shooting stages. That is brilliantly fast shooting. And that made the difference. Yep. Made the difference between her and Halvorsen for sure. And certainly Jean Monod.
Yep, 4.7 seconds quicker than Lena Häcki-Gloss.
She made 20 on 19.7 on Halvorsen. I'm trying to find the shooting time of Jean Monod, but Jean Monod took her time on the shooting range to hit the targets. She was down in, figure this out before Jean Monod with giving up 42 seconds on the shooting range to Julia Simon. And if you look at that, 42 seconds, she lost by 39. So the real gap there in the shooting time.
19 out of 20 for Tamara Steiner. Across the line in 30th for Austria. And things quietening down in the range as we join Lucy Anderson of the USA.
Has been doing this work for about 8 months. Amazing to come to this level in that short amount of time. Really has taken to shooting very quickly. I've not seen anybody really take to the shooting this quickly in the American group as that. Four for 5. This is going to be a great performance for her. Possibly top 50 in her first World Championships.
16 out of 20 for Lucy Anderson, who could still break into the top 40, as Chad says, with a big final lap. 3 kilometers separating her and the finish line.
We see the shooting of Lou Jean Monod. Ella Halverson, I love this performance. This is great. She was just in the groove the whole time. That's the way you have to find that groove to succeed at this event.
And quick as well. You know, we saw her start off with really considered shooting, and then as the confidence grew, just knocking them down for that final visit, and well, a performance more than deserving of the silver medal. Only once before she stood on the podium, and that was in the short individual in Conti-Ellard. The signs were there, Chad. She got 9th in the individual in Ruhpolding. She sits 3rd in the individual score standings. And well, we've spoken about the fact that this event, as you can see, with Julia Simon winning her first individual competition, there isn't really ever a standout winner leader in the competition. Hannah Öberg probably the most dominant when you look back over the results of the last few years, and this is somewhere where Ella Halverson really could emerge.
Absolutely, she kind of reminds me of a young Hannah Öberg back at the Olympics in 2018. She just kind of came in and let the targets fall down and came across the line. In that case, Hannah Öberg just was surprised that she won the Olympics. I mean, she couldn't believe it. She was almost didn't have words for it. And Ella Halverson, she kind of gave us a sense. She's currently 3rd, like you said, 3rd in the standings. She was 2nd in the opening individual and 9th in the second one, Ruhpolding. And today, with a 2nd place finish again, Ella Halverson is clearly good at this event and kind of one of the individual stars to look forward to in the future. And it is a unique event.
Well, on the day that Ella Halverson took her first podium, Natalia Sidolovic set her high watermark of 4th in the short individual in Conti-Ellard. She's across the line in 26th today. Temperatures dropping here in Lenzerheide as the evening begins to draw in.
Here's Lucy Anderson now.
And she's making up time, Chad.
She is. She's a strong cross-country skier. She actually qualified for the U.S. ski team to race in the mid-season January World Cups in cross-country. Her first World Cup cross-country start. She finished an audacious 22nd place in just ski racing. So she's clearly got the ability to ski fast. And luckily for the U.S. Biathlon team, she's taken up the sport of biathlon.
A good time to be part of the US setup.
Is the Latvian Elza Blaidele, 86th of 93 starters. Ends her day with a nice clean shooting stage. 15 for 20 on the range.
72 of 93 athletes across the finish line. No DNSs today. 93 bibs out there on the course. Celebrations have well and truly begun for the French team and the Swedish team.
Well, a little bit of a sigh of relief, I think, for Lou Jean Monod. This kind of frees the beast up for the mass start. She's Got her medal. She's going to get the bronze today. We bring home the rest of the field. This is bib 85. Galina Vishnevskaya, Sheparenko, Kazakhstan. A veteran of the team, 202 starts so far in her career. She's finished 4th in a World Cup earlier in her career. Ella Halvorsen, it's funny talking about Ella Halvorsen. The Swedes in the sprint competition afterwards were all pretty dour and down in the mouth, and Ella Halvorsen didn't know what everybody's problem was. She was happy with her performance, and kind of just shows the happy-go-lucky nature of her, and just kind of ignoring the down in the mouth nature of the team early in the week, and was happy with her performance. She finished that race in 9th, which she thought was plenty good. She'll go 9th and 2nd, so really great week for Ella Halvorsen.
16 out of 20 for Shauna Pendry of Great Britain. Just one miss in that final standing shoot, as Ella Halvorsen off to do her media duties. And you can see the relief there on the face of Lou Jean-Monod. Her first podium this season that in individual competition that hasn't been a gold medal chance.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Yeah, I think she's got to feel a little feel a little bit of relief, and I think this will actually free her up, free her mind and her nerves up a little bit to really perform the rest of this week, both in the relay and the mass start, and possibly the single mixed relay coming up.
Well, so many times we've seen her bounce back to gold. There's only so many times you can do that, and then it's a case of just regrouping and those gradual improvements that we've seen from her over the course of this week, going from 6th to 4th to now 3rd. She's building in the right direction.
Yeah, she skied well, 24 seconds slower than Brysa Boucher as the 2nd fastest ski time. As I said, she outskied Simone by 5 seconds, but the gap was actually on the shooting range, the time made on the shooting range by Simone. That's the difference between the gold and the bronze.
Here's Lucy Anderson of the USA looking to break into the top 40. It's going to be close on the long descent around the back of the main stand here at the Roland Arena. She'll come round the corner, and it will just be over 100 meters she has to push. To push down, it won't be inside the time of compatriot Chloe Levins, but it might be, and will likely be quicker than Hannah Erberg.
Shooting just one worse than Erberg. That's a pretty good performance from the real relative beginner in the sport. 45th place in the World Championships. It's not, you don't see that very often.
Nope.
So great job for Lucy Anderson today. She'll slide into 42nd. So Chloe Levins one spot ahead of her in 41st, and Dieter Irwin was 29th for the United States. A solid day on the tracks and in the shooting range for Team USA.
Another good shooting day for the Brazilian Gaia Brunello. 19 out of 20. Performed very well in the range so far this season. And one of our last bibs, bib number 80. Clean shooting in the sprint, and just one miss today. Slottermark of Greenland.
Accidentally ejected around there, so she's grabbing one from her rifle stock to replace that one that she ejected. So 3 misses on the day, 17 for 20.
And one of our final starters, bib 91 out of 93. Kozika of Croatia with 6 misses. Perfect in the prone, just struggling in the standing position. 3 in each visit. Well, Chad, all our individual events done now for the women, apart from the mass start. So with that final race looming on the horizon at the end of the week, and with 3 athletes on the podium for the first time in the World Championships here in Lenzerheide today, it's shaping up to be a spectacular final race on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of distribution of the medals have gone to many different people, and it's going to be a great mass start Sunday, I think. But the single mixed relay and the relay, I think, will also be very interesting, and to see who they choose. How does France put a single mixed relay team together? I mean, it's really a tough choice for them.
Well, we saw, particularly on the men's side, just how desperate the French athletes were to make it onto the mixed relay team, and you feel there'll be similar discussions once again. There's Brunello.
I think
through the stadium and up to the finish line.
I think the French will be looking for the single mixed relay. They'll be looking for the fastest shooters who can hit. And Julia Simone just made a huge bid for that single mixed relay spot. Probably with, I'm thinking Eric Perrault. That would be a good duo. But Julia Simone, this is her best performance of the year for sure. And timely for that single mixed relay spot, because they can use her shooting speed for sure to take the victory there.
Her first individual win for Julia Simon, and her first win of the season as well.
Just trying to get those calories back in any way you can. So tough in a week and a half, 2 weeks like this of competing almost every other day, if not days back to back.
Yep, such an intense schedule. Close the mark up to the 12.8 kilometer mark. Another tough day, Chad, for Ingrid Landmark-Sandervold, finishing down in 39th. It's caused a huge amount of debate, particularly over in Norway, and with the Norwegian press who are here in Lenzerheide, with plenty saying, including Oleana Bjorndalen, that it's time for the coaches as well to assume some responsibility. It's so tough because nothing seems to be working, bar the odd podium here or there. Malin Kirkeider, of course, having some individual success, but apart from that, things just not working out for Norway this season.
Well, Kirkeider with a solid performance. He's currently sitting in 8th today. That's a step in the right direction. Ragnhild Fem-Steinevik also in the top 15 and 12th. Nobody really expecting to look to Fem-Steinevik for leadership, because she's been in the IBU Cup for most of the season and sort of was the last person to make it on the team. And she's fine. If you ask me, Fem-Steinevik in 12th, that's a good performance for her. Kirkeider clearly capable of more than 8th, but it's not something you should really hang your head in shame about. But I think, oh, here we go.
Yep, Shauna Pendry just to the line in a new personal best performance of 72nd. Her best before that coming in the sprint earlier on in the week, 77th. So taking a decent chunk off that.
Yeah, good for her. That's a good, anytime you can get a PR and you have as few starts as Pendry has in her career, this is a good step forward for her today. Just to talk about Norway, they have such deep wells of athletes and club system that develops so many athletes that it does feel a little bit perplexing that the Norwegian women are this far off the mark at this World Championships. And I'm not sure what it is, but somebody has to step in and change the mojo of the team somehow. It shouldn't be where it is right now. and the expectation in Norway, it's almost unrealistic to begin with. But you know, most nations would love to have somebody in 8th and 12th right now, or 8th and 12th at the finish of the individual. But Norway shoots a little higher than that in their expectations of their biathletes.
And there were plenty of questions around another dominant Scandinavian nation as well, and that was Sweden after the first few days of competition. But 2 athletes in the flower ceremony, and one of those on the podium.
Yeah, it's a good step forward for Sweden. You know, it's not their dream scenario up to this point, but you know, everybody knows it's hard to take a medal at the World Championships, and they've got 2 now, and that's a good start. Grace Castaway now the final starter for this field of 93, and trying to get into the top 75. Because she's going to probably fall outside the time of Makarova of Moldova. Castaway, just 23 years of age, in her 17th start of her career. Got a pretty late start to the sport of biathlon. Was a runner, and then got into ski racing, and then biathlon right after high school, and has just slowly developed to be one of the top Americans.
And this her World Championships debut and first race here at Lenzerheide 2025. Grace Castaway across the line in 77th, starting bib number 93. Always so tough to be the last bib.
Still a few more athletes out on the course, though, before we can put this one in the books.
One out of 93 athletes across the line, so just waiting on our last 2 out on the course as we look back at the race of Ellard.
I would say it's one of my favorite races I've seen in the championships, just as far as what somebody can do, stepping up and doing it. It shows you that she's a talent for this actual discipline.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. We've spoken so much over the course of the last couple of days building into this. Helped by the IBU predictor game about who would be that one on the podium, who potentially would spring a surprise, and you have to say that is Ellard. But the signs were there, that second in the short individual in Kontiolahti, and then of course the performance in Ruhpolding, but then to deliver that on such a big stage, and when your country is gasping for medals as well. It's the right time to do it, and to do it in such confident fashion as well, Ellard.
2 second-place finishes this season in this discipline. Her worst a ninth in the second one of the season in Ruhpolding. So Ellard becoming a bit of an individual event master with the silver medal today. Yep,
and the only in the top 3 to shoot completely clean. A perfect race for Ellard. 20 out of 20. Julia Simon missing in her final visit to the range, but still enough to take her first individual victory and her first podium here at Lenzerheide 2025. She is the world champion after being the only returning medalist to come back from Nove Mesto. And then Lujon Minot, not to be for her today in terms of the victory. She missed on her first visit and just couldn't get back into the groove, and couldn't find the extra seconds as well to get ahead of Ellard. She has to settle for 3rd, but still her first individual medal of the championships here. Suvi Minkunen, an excellent 4th place. Clean shooting on the day, and was sat in that 3rd and final medal position for, well, just a matter of seconds before Lujon Minot came across the line. A flower ceremony for Julia Zima, and Elvira Erberg finishing 6th. The best performance in this event at a World Championships by quite some margin for Julia Zima. She has a 6th place finish from the mass start in 2017. It's a new high water mark, finishing 5th today.
So, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, das war's also.
91 of our 93 athletes finishing the race today. And the podium being assembled down in front of us here in the Roland Arena. The big celebrations in the Swedish camp. But once again, you can't keep France off the podium, Chad. They've finished on every podium so far here at Lenzerheide 2025, and 2 athletes this time round with Julia Simon, the new world champion, and Lou Jean-Monod taking the bronze medal.
Yeah, Simone actually moves up to 10 total career medals with this gold medal, and it makes her 8th World Championship gold, counting the relays and individual start competitions. So Simone hits the double digits on the World Championship medals today. Jean-Monod makes it her 6th World Championship medal, her 3rd bronze. And of course, Ella Halvorsen, her 1st.
Julia, your 8th World Championship gold medal. How do you see your competition today?
It feels so good. It was so hard in the last lap. My leg was just burning so much, but I feel really good. I think I had a good strategy on the ski. I start fast, but not too fast. Always in the good rhythm and not too much. And I feel confident on the shooting range, so it feels really good.
So last week, 7th and 12th place in pursuit and the sprint. How challenging was it mentally, and how did you manage to come back with such a great performance today?
Yeah, the last week was very tough. I had a big fall in the mixed relay, and I had a lot of headache. Then I feel like my focus wasn't really good on the shooting range, so I sleep a lot. And this morning I had a strong talk with my coach, with Jean-Paul, and I told him that I feel like I enjoy doing biathlon, but I missed something really important. Like I had last winter, it was something that you can have in the last lap for having the difference and everything. And he said, okay, but if you can do biathlon so good for you, do it for your fun, do it for your staff, do it for your family. And I think I bought it a lot during the race today, and it feels amazing today.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Well, interesting interview there with Julia Simon, Chad, who, of course, as she mentioned, had that really heavy fall in the first day of competition. She then lost out on the real opportunity to defend her 2 world titles that she had from Novo Mesto in the sprint and the pursuit, finishing 7th and 12th. first world title, though, in the individual, so she's bounced back from that. And it's something that we've heard athletes speak about quite a lot, is finding that meaning to go out there and perform, even if you can't perform to your best, as she was encouraged to do by her coach. Go and perform for the team, perform for the staff, perform for her fans, and she certainly did that, winning the individual competition here in Lenzerheide by 37.8 seconds.
Yeah, she's 9 seasons into her career at the World Cup level, and you know, you're always going to try to take stock at any point in the year, especially when you're not setting things on fire, which she hasn't really this year. So you come into a World Championship like this, and you're in her position. What are you really shooting for? And until you find that moment where you can find that focus, you're left wondering that. So it sounded like she had a pretty strong. It sounded like last night was maybe a turning point for her, just emotionally and mentally, in this season. And good for her. Great way to turn it around.
Yeah, absolutely. Also thought it was interesting about her tactics for the ski side of things. It's something we've heard a lot about this week, whether athletes, some want to go a bit more reserved because of the climb, because of how hard it can be when you get to the later stages of the races. But then we've seen Campbell Wright perform so well by just throwing down some blisteringly quick early laps, and she went for something in the middle, and it definitely worked when you look at the ski time.
Yeah, I think she was kind of throwing caution to the wind early in the season in some of the races where she'd go out and fly and then have misses. I think she came into at least the first 2 stages and found a groove like you need to in this individual. And sometimes when you go out a little too hard and you have to slow down, it just throws you off your rhythm in all aspects of the sport. Julia Simone got in tune with biathlon today, and I think that was the difference. Just from her interview there and watching that performance, that was a master class in how to win a world championship. And she's back on. And look out, everybody. We've got a few more races left, and Julia Simone is back at the top performance level in the sport.
Well, that was going to be my next question. We've got, of course, a few more races. The single mix, which she'll be hoping to run out in. Of course, both the relays as well to come on Saturday, and then the mass start on Sunday. Chad, we also have 3 weeks left of competition on the World Cup. And if she's found that new meaning, that new why that can inspire her to the extent it did today, well, she'll be a force to be reckoned with as well, because she'll want to end the season on a high.
Yeah, and then yeah, for sure. And the thing that happened today is that you refocus the French focus on her a little bit. The focus for the French has really been on Lou Jean Monod, and early in these championships, Justine Braissat-Boucher. The team is so deep that to kind of wrestle that focus away from the rest of the team is a special thing in itself. And Julia Simone did that today. She made herself more relevant to the French team than she's been all year.
And you feel that for Julia Simone, she really embraces that, and she performs well when the light's being shone on her.
Absolutely, I think we all do. But you know, the key is to try to find how to make that happen. And she did that. She did that with a talk with her coach and her performance today. And you know, how do you keep her off the single mixed relay with her shooting performance? I don't know how you do.
No. And seeing potentially a shift in focus as well on the Swedish side of things. The second silver medal of the championships, and it's Ella Halvorsen who stepped up and delivered for the Swedes this time round.
Yeah, Ella Halvorsen is going to enjoy this one, and then the question is what was going on with the reports that maybe Ellard might not start. We might see that affect the Swedish relay, certainly this single mixed relay decision, who they put in that spot. And then of course the women's relay. They need all 4 women to get a medal.
Well, what a duo these two have been. And I'm not talking about whoever Suvi Minkkänen's now on the phone to, but Suvi Minkkänen and the Norwegian head coach of Finland, Erik Tornéus Kolstad, who has everything clicking for Suvi Minkkänen, and in terms of individual performances within the team as well, who are doing incredibly well. We saw, of course, Finland take the victory in the single mixed relay in Oberhof, and we've had some really stand out as well individual performances outside of Suvi Minkkänen on the World Cup circuit, but things going very, very well for this, the Finnish team. And now in the picture, of course, the Germans, who maybe would have wanted a bit more today from Franziska Preuss, Chad.
Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with the medal haul they've already taken. I think the German men are struggling a little bit, but Preuss is offsetting that the tone there. But Sumi Minkin and the hits just keep coming, and I don't mean from the music stations or radio stations sort of way. She cleaned today, cleaned in the sprint, 2 clean races out of 3, and 18 for 20 in the pursuits. She is just on a roll. The Finn just keeps kind of defying gravity in a way.
Celebrations for Yulia Zhima as well, with the 34-year-old Ukrainian securing her 2nd flower ceremony of the season. She took 4th in the sprint in Annecy-le-Grand-Bonnard and finishing 5th today with perfect shooting in the 15-kilometer individual. Well, the athletes preparing for the flower ceremony, which will be led out by Julia Simon. All coming together for the first time in an individual competition for Julia Simon, who pulls on the golden gloves that the athletes have been wearing on the podium for those who have taken world titles. Lindsay, the mascot for these World Championships, keeping the crowd entertained while we wait for the athletes to come out to the podium. Ella Halvorsen handed her skis after securing her 1st ever medal at the World Championships, only her 2nd medal on the world circuit. And 2 silvers from her season and 1 at the World Championships. Chad, at 25 years old, you've got to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I think the way that she's emerged here as well is really interesting. She's not young. She's not terribly young. I mean, she's not an 18-year-old. She's been on the IBU Cup circuit for a while. And something just popped for her this year, and that's often how things happen. That's why you don't really want to quit too soon in the sport if you're developing and you're in the national program and you're maybe getting frustrated at 23, 24 years of age. Hang on, you might end up in an Ella Halvorsen situation where you're suddenly on the podiums.
So our first podium of week 2 here at Lenzerheide 2025. And for the first time this World Championships, and for the first time in an individual event, it's Julia Simon who leads out the procession. The new world champion in the individual event. And after a challenging first week of competition, recovering well and bouncing back strongly as we start week 2. A first individual medal of Lenzerheide 2025 for Lou Jean-Monod. Still in hunt of her first world title. Taking steps in the right direction.
She's just been so steady all year long. I'm a little bit surprised at the World Championships so far, but this is good for her. She needed this to kind of get that albatross off the back of the expectations, I think, of everybody, including us, coming into these World Championships.
Well, a positive surprise of the World Championships and this event. Ella Halvorsen taking her first ever world medal. And emerging as quite a talent in the individual event, the 25-year-old with her second podium of her career, her second of the season. And a special day for Ella Halvorsen and the Swedish team. They're all moving in the right direction. And world champion for the first time in this event. She took bronze in Novo Mesto, and she's back in Lenzerheide to take the gold. World champion for the first time in these World Championships. And after being unable to defend and retain her title in the sprint and pursuit, well, she turns her attention to the 15 kilometers and takes top spot.
Yeah, perhaps the athlete who has taken the most time out of her competitors in an individual championship event that I can remember. She actually was shooting almost like a sprint event the whole day. It was really an impressive feat to watch.
France maintaining their great start to these championships as well. One athlete on every podium, at least so far. Sweden back on track with Ella Halvorsen sandwiched between the two French women. And what a championships, what a season this has been for Suvi Minkkinen of Finland. Clean shooting today.
Yulia Zhima, nice to see her on the podium, see Ukraine get the recognition as a biathlon program at the World Championships.
Had their inclusion on the men's side with Podruchny. Excellent couple of days in Oberhof for the Ukrainian, and a second flower ceremony of the season herself, Yulia Zhima and Elvira Erberg. Only enough for 6th today. All the attention though on Julia Simon with a refreshed focus. The dominant performance. And once again, we will hear the French national anthem ring out around the Roland Arena. world title for Julia Simon, and just how big a springboard will that be for the rest of her season? A new face on the podium at the World Championships. Ellard soaking it all up. And Lou Jean-Monod continuing to progress in the right direction, as she'll have one more opportunity here in Lenzerheide 2025 to go for that elusive first world title. A little break before the women are back in individual action. That will be on Sunday in the 12.5 kilometre mass start. Next up though, tomorrow, starting at 3 Central European time, will be the men's 20 kilometre individual.
Et après, c'est la presse. Félicitations à la France!
Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, das war also das Einzelrennen der Damen. Morgen geht es weiter mit Lenzi und hoffentlich mit euch allen. Wer ist morgen noch mit dabei? Ja, das ist wunderbar, das freut mich. Dann sind wir nicht alleine, Lenzi. Ja? Morgen also das Einzelrennen der Herren über 20 Kilometer und da derselbe Fahrplan. 15:05 geht's los und wir begrüßen euch bereits ab den Mittagsstunden hier bei uns im Stadion, diesem wunderbaren Stadion, bei dieser wunderbaren Kulisse, bei diesem wunderbaren Gastgeber bei Lenzi. In diesem Sinne wünsche ich euch weiterhin einen schönen Nachmittag. Heute Abend übrigens bis 21 Uhr oben im Fan Village im Chalet wird Party gefeiert. Bist du auch da, Lenzi? Er ist auch da. Lenzi wird mitfeiern. In diesem Sinne, weiterhin einen schönen Nachmittag, einen schönen Abend. Wir sehen uns morgen wieder. Und wenn ihr morgen wieder dieselbe Stimmung mitbringt, dann wird das ideal. Danke vielmals. Tschüss, guten Abend. Macht's gut.
At this point in the individual standings. Wir schauen auf die